financially educated person isn't defined by the amount of money they have, but by the way they think about and manage their finances. Do you think in terms of saving, rather than spending? Are you conscious of every dollar that leaves your wallet? Do you budget on an ongoing basis? These are all signs of financial education, which can help build long-term wealth and stability no matter what your income level may be. This financial literacy video covers 14 signs that show how financially educated you are. 1. You understand how credit works. It's important to understand how credit works so that you can avoid the pitfalls. When you know how credit works, it'll be easier to make decisions that will help you reach your financial goals. If you want to increase your credit score, then there are a few things that you should avoid. Always pay your monthly balance in full. Avoid opening new lines of credit unless absolutely necessary. Keep your oldest account open with a high credit limit. Only apply for loans if you really need them and if they offer great rates, but only if they offer great rates. Remember, as with any other financial decision, borrowing money carries risk as well as reward. 2. You know your credit score and monitor it regularly. Do you know your credit score? If not, you should. A person's credit score is a number that indicates their likelihood of repaying debts on time. If a person has a high credit score, it means they have a low risk of replying on or defaulting on payments. The higher your credit score, the better your ability to get approved for loans and other financial products. It is important to monitor your credit score regularly to make sure it remains in good standing and stays high. To find out your current credit score, visit websites like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. 3. You have a budget that you stick to. Some people believe that it's impossible to live within a budget. But in reality, it can be easier than you think. The first step is setting up a monthly budget and sticking to it. We all have expenses we need to cover each month, so the best way to do this is to figure out how much you can spend on food, clothing, transportation, entertainment, etc., and then divide by 12 months. Once you know your monthly spending limit for each area of your life, start using cash only as often as possible. This will force you not just to pay attention to what you spend now, but also where your money is going in the future. 4. You live below your means. It's hard to live below your means if you don't know how much money you have coming in and going out. If you don't keep a budget and track your expenses, it's easy to overspend on everything from rent to coffee. But if you do, then it will be easier for you to take care of what is necessary and leave the unnecessary purchases for later. Making cost-effective choices doesn't mean buying the cheapest item at the store or waiting until the last minute to make purchases. Instead, it means making smart decisions about what is worth spending money on now versus later. 5. You have an emergency fund. One of the most important things to do before you start investing is to make sure you have an emergency fund. It's just a little bit of cash that can be used in case of emergencies, like when your car breaks down or if someone gets sick. But how much should you put away? If it's been more than 6 months since you last contributed to your emergency fund, then you need to figure out how much cash you'll need for emergencies and add about 3 months' worth. 6. You invest for the long term. There are a lot of advantages to investing for the long term. One reason is that you can lock in today's prices and not have to worry about market fluctuations. Another benefit is that you don't have to watch your investments every day, which can be time-consuming and stressful. If you invest for the long term, you'll also earn more money because your investments will grow faster than if they were invested for shorter periods of time. For example, on an investment of $10,000 per year for 20 years at a 7% annual return rate, the final account balance would be $217,611. 7. You understand the importance of insurance. The importance of insurance cannot be understated. It's an investment in yourself, your future and your family. It can provide a sense of security and peace of mind that you'll need in the event that you or someone you love get sick. There are many types of insurance, but it's important to know what the most common ones are as well as how they work so you can make informed decisions about which one is right for you. The most common types are health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance and disability coverage. As long as you have at least one type of coverage in place, you're on the way to being financially educated. Auto insurance. An auto policy provides both liability protection, if your car damages another person's property, and physical damage coverage, if your car is damaged. If you live in a no-fault state like Florida, physical damage may not be necessary. 8. You know how to negotiate. A skill which can save you money and help you get what you want is the ability to negotiate. Negotiation can be a difficult skill to master and it takes practice. One good way to start practicing is by asking for discounts or trying to negotiate for better deals on items you are buying. Having to negotiate every time you want to buy something may be a hassle, but it will help you become a better negotiator. Being financially educated means knowing how much of a risk you can afford to take with your finances. For example, if you have $10,000 in savings, are 28 years old and just got laid off from your job without another one lined up, then it is probably not wise for you to invest that entire sum in a high-risk investment with no financial backup plan. 9. You know about your taxes and you never overpay. When it comes to taxes, it's always a good idea to know what you're paying. This is especially important if you don't want to overpay the IRS. For most people, the idea of taxes can be a bit confusing. However, there are a few things that you should know about your taxes and how they work in order to avoid overpaying them. First, many people think that their tax refund is actually income for them, which isn't true at all. It's just money that the government owes you because they took too much out of your paycheck when they were calculating your tax withholding amount. Another thing that many people forget about is whether or not they qualify for an exemption. Many people who are retired, disabled or have children under the age of 19 might qualify for an exemption from federal income tax as well as some states' taxes. Finally, don't forget to ask your employer if there's anything else that needs to be taken into account when determining your tax withholdings so that they match up with what you owe annually by April 18th. 10. You invest wisely. It is important to invest wisely because it has been said that the key to long-term wealth and success is in your portfolio. The more educated you are about investing, the better off you will be. One sign of a financially educated person is that they understand the importance of being diversified in order to maintain stability in their portfolio. This means not putting all your eggs in one basket by investing only in one type of asset class or investment. Diversification protects against downturns and helps to make up for any missed opportunities over time when others are booming. 11. You stay up to date with finance news. Keeping up with finance news is a great way to stay educated and aware of your finances. The news can help you decide how to allocate your money and make decisions based on what's going on in the economy. It can also give you insight into what the future may hold for your investments. If you want to be financially educated, then it's important that you know what's happening in the world of finance so that you can take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. 12. You are disciplined with money. If you are disciplined with money, it may be a sign that you are financially educated. A good indicator of this is if you have created an emergency fund, which is a savings account for unexpected emergencies. If you've already got one, then that's awesome. However, if you haven't yet created an emergency fund, it would be wise to start one as soon as possible. Having money set aside will help when unexpected things happen and might prevent the need to take out a loan or use credit cards to cover the expense. Another way in which disciplined people show they are financially educated is by not spending their entire paycheck at once. They might set aside some of the money for future expenses like retirement funds or college tuition and instead live on what remains from the paycheck. 13. You pay your debts on time. Being financially educated means doing what you need to do in order to successfully pay your debts. This is one of the best signs that you are on the path to financial success. If you find yourself missing a payment or two, then it's time to get back on track and focus on taking care of this first before anything else. Being reliable with your payments will help others trust you more, which in turn will lead in being more likely to do business with you. 14. You know your net worth. Another sign of a financially literate person is that they know their net worth. A net worth is simply what you own, assets, minus what you owe, debts. It's an important number because it can show if someone is living below the poverty line or if they are wealthy. Your net worth is important not just for your personal finances but also for understanding the economy, business, and investments. Knowing your net worth can give you a better sense of where you are in life and help keep you on track to reach your goals. The key to becoming financially educated is to understand what you want out of your money, and then to go out and get it. Your money is yours, not the bank's, so take control and make changes in your own life. Researching the best places for savings can help you make better decisions about where to store your hard-earned cash. Make a budget that covers everything from transportation to clothing, and stick with it. If you have questions or find yourself in need of guidance, there are plenty of resources available for free that will help you do research on how to become more financially educated. Don't forget to subscribe to Financial Literacy.